Lincoln Railer Football on 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com is brought to you by Grau Incorporated, Fifth Street Food Mart, Community Action Partnership of Central Illinois, The Carpet House, Castle Manor Supported Living, Ricky Calvert Schrader Funeral Home, Rick Ham State Farm Insurance, Lincoln IGA, Town and Country Bank, Eaton Corporation, Lincoln College, Blades Hair and Nail Salon, Lincoln Heating and Cooling, Future Stars Lincoln and Impact Studio, Dean Leaf Plumbing, Heating and Soft Water, Lincoln Printers, Jane's Hair Salon, Bright Ideas Screen Printing and Embroidery, Kathy Denny Realtor at Worth & Associates, Mama's Arcade Cafe, Stufferia Pizza, Headline Salon LLC, AG Farms, Best Western Plus Lincoln Inn, and by Sharon's Auto Repair.
Getting ready to kick it off here, number 24, that is Corrington Jones, boots it away from his own 40. End over end, comes down to Metalco at the 10. He's up to the 15, looks for his blocking. Behind one of his blockers at the 20, up to the 25, and he's hit at the 28. His forward momentum takes him out at about the 30-yard line, and that looks like that's where he's going to spot it. He got hit at the 28, Coach, but he able to keep his momentum going, Brent Metalco, down to the 30, up to the 30-yard line.
Well, he got behind some blockers and tried to find his way up to the left sideline, but number 24 for the Lions kind of cut through there and stopped him, but Lincoln will have it on the 31 to start their first drive of the evening.
Well, his effort was worth it. They spotted just short of the 31-yard line. Split here to the near side's Will Cook, Keegan Buck on the right side. It looks like they put Chris Dong in the slot on the right side. Isles out of the shotgun's got the pass, hits Will Cook along the sideline, and he's nailed right there for a short gain across the 35-yard line. The tackle was made by Devon Varela for the Lanphier Lions.
He picked up about, they put it on the 37, so a 6-yard pickup on first down. Nice play to start the game.
Isles goes to the sideline, gets the coach from assistant coach Jacob Harneke, one of the great quarterbacks here at Lincoln High. Jacob Harneke had a great career here for the Rail Splitters. Kunkel up over the football, up on that offensive line for the Railers. This time Isles comes up under center, man in motion. That's Dong, takes it around the right side, and he dives up across the 40-yard line looking for the first down. Looks like he's just going to be a little bit short, Coach.
Yeah, he picked up 3. As you said, he dove, trying to get to the sticks, and they're going to place it on the 40, so it's going to be short yardage here on third down for the Railers.
Rail Splitters in their home green uniforms with the red numerals and the green helmets, and the Lions come in with the orange numerals, the orange striping along their legs, and the white helmets and the white jerseys on the road for the Lanphier Lions. Kunkel, the center for the Railers, up to the line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line. Isles comes up under center. He's got a man in motion, hands it off to the first guy through. That's Dong, and he just barely gets across the that was Griffin Pollock, number 47, Griffin Pollock, 5'9", 180-pounder, and he just got a football length across the 40, so he's still short of the first down.
Yeah, he got stopped dead in his tracks there as he got to the line of scrimmage. It's 4th and 1 for the Railers, and I would be surprised if they weren't going for it here. I'm sure they'll try to get the first down.
Coach McDonald early here will gamble. He'll go for it instead of punting it away. Kunkel up to the line of scrimmage. Isles looks over at the Lanphier defense. Now he comes up under center. He's got a man in motion. Pitches it to him, and he comes up to the 40. That's Brent Metalco, and he's going to be close to a first down. They may have to bring the chains out.
I think he got a couple yards coming hard to, he got hit hard, but he ran hard too, picked up 2 yards and the first.
First down for the Rail Splitters, as Coach told you, down up to the 42-yard line in Rail Splitter territory.
I'm sorry, Bob, he also got a couple nice lead blocks there. There was a defender out there that could have tackled him, and he got two kids blocked him, knocked him out of there.
He had big Ben Steiner and Eric Sutton over on that left side leading the way. Now Will Cook is here on the near side. On the far side of the field, on the wide receiver, it's Keegan Buck. Isles out of the shotgun. So they hike it over his head. He's got to run all the way back, picks it up. No, he just dives on it at the 19-yard line. So a big loss there for the Rail Splitters. Just as they had some momentum out of the shotgun, the ball is hiked over Isles' head, and all he could do was go back and dive on it. Looks like back at the 18-yard line.
And we haven't seen that hardly all year long, Bob. It's been always a clean exchange, and now tonight we have one, and he lost 24 yards on the play.
So the Rail Splitters with a ways to go now.
Well, the key is don't try to get it all at once. You know, get 10 or 12 of them here, and then you got 2 downs left to get the rest.
Isles going to come up under center. Now he's got a man in motion. That's Dong, and he hands off. I think that was Pollock. I'm not sure. Metalco was the ball carrier for the Rail Splitters.
He lost 3 yards on the play, but he didn't have any place to run either. The front 3 linemen there for Lanphier just kind of came across the line. They're pretty big looking out there, and they just stuffed him for a loss of 3.
Well, they got Devonta Mitchell. He's 5'10", 215 out there. Rail Splitters up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down at the 15. Isles out of the shotgun. Throws it along the sideline deep, and he's going to out-throw everybody there. He just sort of threw it away. The intended receiver would have been Will Cook, but he threw it well overhead of the heads of the defenders.
And he was double covered out there, Bob, so there wasn't much chance. They had him in front and behind, and Garrett just threw it out there as far as he could, and not much chance for a completion.
So now it'll be 4th down at the 15-yard line. Try and pick up who's back here for Lanphier. I believe that is Devontae Hall, number 8 for Lanphier. He's a senior. Here's the punt by Isles along the sideline, and it goes out of bounds at the Lincoln 37-yard line.
Yeah, there's no return on it, but it's picked up about, well, the line of scrimmage was a 15, so he kicked it about 22 yards gain on that. But Lanphier Lions have great field position now.
Jared Griffin's their quarterback. He's a senior. No, he's not. Yes, he is. He's a senior. 5'8", 148-pounder. He'll go with 2 wideouts on each sides of the field. He'll operate out of the shotgun. He'll have Dickerson back there as a running back with him. Reggie Dickerson. Now he's got a man in motion. He hands it off to Dickerson up the middle, and he's hit at the 35-yard line. Wrapped up by Ethan Kunkel there.
Good job by the Lincoln defensive line, and linebacker came in and made the stop for only a 2-yard gain, and now they come no huddle, and they're ready to go again.
Trying to pick who else is up there. I think that may be Sutton.
I think we got Kunkel. Yeah, they were fixing something on it. They stopped the clock there just to fix something on his chin strap, I think.
Steiner in there on defense, number 79 for the Rail Splitters. Out of the shotgun, they pitch it into the backfield.
Mitchell.
That's Mitchell across the 35 to the 30, along the sideline of the 20, 15, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. Number 16, Dietrich Mitchell, 6'1", 250-pounder. He could run like the wind.
And we said earlier in the pregame that he was a ton last year against the Railers, and he just showed it again there. He took a little pitch, got around to the sideline, and he had a little speed too, going down the sideline for the touchdown.
Lions score with 7 minutes 21 seconds on the first quarter clock. The man that will attempt the extra point will be Alec Gansey. Gansey wears the number 25. He's a junior. On the hold, it'll be Jared Griffin. There's the boot through the uprights, and it is good. That'll make the score Lanphier 7 and the Rail Splitters 0. We'll be back after this. Don't forget to join the Scott Kirby and Jake Johnson Cheap Seats Live Saturday morning sports show featuring Joe Ryan at the all-new Mission Mart located at 119 North Sangamon Street in Lincoln tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. with special guest LCHS Senior Railer golf standout and 9th place medalist during the recent IHSA Class 1A state tourney, Miss Caitlin Hasbury, and LCHS head Railer football coach Andy McDonald. And now Lanphier getting ready to kick it away, and out there to kick it away will be Corrington Jones. Jones is a sophomore, wears the number 24. Brett Metalco back deep for the Rail Splitters, also along with Zach Pudnight's back there for the Railers. Corrington Jones, the sophomore, will boot it away. The Lanphier Lions in their white uniforms with the orange numerals. The Railers in the green with the red numerals. Here's the boot downfield, and Pudnight's got it at the 14 to the 15. Looks for his blocking at the 20. Now he'll try to bring it up the middle, and he gets down to the 25-yard line, Zach Pudnight.
It took him a while to try to find a place to run there. He just kind of hesitated, looking and looking and looking, and then he found a little room, but he didn't have much running room, so it's only going to start the Railers at their own 25 here on their second possession.
Isles wears the number 8. He's a junior. Senior quarterback. Pardon me, junior quarterback. Cook lines up here to the near side. Keegan Buck on the far side. Isles going to operate out of the shotgun. Got 3 running backs. He's got 1 man in motion. That's Metalco. He tries to swing it wide and cut to the middle, and no, he's wrestled down at the 20-yard line. Brent Metalco, and the tackle was made by Calvin Caesar. Caesar with a free safety.
He wanted to run wide, but he looked and saw right away that he wasn't going to get outside. They had it contained defensively, and then as he stopped and wanted to turn up, he just couldn't get his momentum going again, and they stopped him for a 5-yard loss.
It'll be 2nd and 15 for the Rail Splitters. Clock on the move. 6:40 remains here first quarter. The Lions lead the Rail Splitters 7-0. Isles going to operate out of the shotgun again. Yeah, wipes his hands off. The junior quarterback, he's got a man in motion, he's got the snap. He'll roll out to his right. He's a left-hander, throws it up the middle, and it's incomplete. Good coverage there by Lanphier. I think the intended receiver was Chris Dong.
He looked. I thought he was opening over the middle there for a second, but then the safety, number 11, came up and over the top and knocked the ball loose as it arrived.
That was Andrew Powell. He showed good quickness. You're right there, Coach. Dong looked like he was open, and Powell closed in quickly and broke it up at the 20-yard line at the line of scrimmage. Cook here to the near side. Keegan Buck on the right. Isles out of the shotgun again. Got the snap, the left-hander, and it's blocked.
He tried to hit Cook from the out, come across slant to the middle, but the linebacker, 54, stepped in. I don't think Garrett Isles saw him at all, but he stepped in and knocked that down and had a chance for an interception, but he knocked it down, so it's incompletion, and it's going to set up 4th down.
Well, second time the Railers with a 4th. Last time it was 4th down on the 15-yard line. This time it's on the 20. Isles will try and punt it away along the bench side of the Rail Splitters here. Oh, he drops it, and now a fumble, and Lanphier is going to take it in for a touchdown.
Is that 60?
That's 60. And in for the touchdown is Justin Wright, 6'3", 240-pounder. He's a tackle and a defensive end, and he took it in for the touchdown, Coach.
Oh, he's a big guy. I saw him out there earlier, and he looked big. I didn't look at his size, but number 60.
6'4", 6'3",
240. He's just a man right in the middle of the defensive line. And that time, Garrett Isles just dropped the ball before he could punt it, and then it got away from him, and they picked it up and took it in easy touchdown.
This is Gansey, but his kick goes awry. He didn't get it through the uprighters. One of the Railers may got a hand up to block it. So after, with 6:16 left in the first quarter, it's Lanphier 13, Railers 0. We'll be back after this. Remember, after the game tonight, stay tuned as we throw things back to Jeff number 2 in the best classic rock and roll around. He'll be with you till midnight, but the party continues until 4 a.m., and then it's the best country known to man. Because when you're tuned in to WLCN 96.3 FM, it's country by day and classic rock by night, the best of both worlds. Corrington Jones is going to kick it off for the Lanphier Lions. And this time it's going to come down to Brent Metalco at the 17. He's at the 20. Metalco at the 25 to the 30. He's got some good blocking across the 35. Across the 40-yard line goes Brent Metalco.
It looked like he was stopped at the 35, and all of a sudden he put it in after drive and picked up 6 more yards out to the 41.
Metalco's listed at 5'9", 145, but he's tough. He's fast, and he's fearless, and he just goes right into the heart of the Lanphier defense.
And Lincoln has great field position this time, Bob. They started their first possession on the 31 and the next one on the 25. Now they're on their 41.
Kunkel up over the football. Senior playing his last night game here at Handlin Field. Man in motion's Dong. Dong's got the football. Tries to string it out and make the turn, but he just gets back to the line of scrimmage on the far side of the field.
Yeah, they may give him a yard on it, but it doesn't look like it. Just couldn't get to the outside. Lanphier's doing a good job of containing to the outside and not letting the Railer runners get out there.
5:49 left for the first quarter. The Lions lead it early, 13-0. Lincoln needs to have a long possession here and get it in the end zone. Going to be 2nd and 10 for the Rail Splitters at their own 41-yard line. Harnicky sends the play in with Garrett Isles. Will Cook will split it here in front of the Lincoln bench. Raylers on the far side of the field on the hash marks. Man in motion is Metalco, and Isles is going to keep it. Throws it up ahead and incomplete. Intended receiver was Chris Dong, but he was covered well. The guy that had the coverage on him was number 34, Jack Anthony Childress.
And after completing his first pass of the game, Isles has thrown 4 incompletions. He had to Will Cook a little deeper, and Cook's defender fell down, but he was throwing to his short man, as you said, Bob Dong, and overthrew him a little bit.
So that'll make it a 3rd and 10 situation. Still at the original line of scrimmage at the 41-yard line. Clock stopped on the incompletion at 5:19 first quarter. Now Raylers will go with 2 receivers here on the near side. Isles will operate out of the shotgun, rolls to his left, looks, fires, complete, first down.
Hang on.
Down across the 45-yard line, that was Will Cook on the first down for the Rail Splitters from the 41 down to the Lanphier 44-yard line.
15-yard pickup, a nice throw by Isles, a nice catch by Cook, and then he picked up a few yards after the catch. He was open downfield, and Railers got their first down of the game.
Keegan Bucks checks back in for the Rail Splitters. He's a senior. Cook will line it up here on the near side. Ball on the near side hash marks. Kunkel up over the football. The guards are Brady Anderson and Ben Steiner. The tackles are Eric Sutton and Ian Neitzel. Man in motion is Dong. Hands it off to Pollock, and Pollock fights his way down to the 40-yard line. 4-yard pickup there by Griffin Pollock for the Rail Splitters, the senior, 5'9", 180, playing his last game here at Handlin Field.
And that was a drive straight ahead. He picked up a little over 3 on that, down to almost the 40-yard line.
Griffin Pollock, big strong kid, did his job there, so it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Rail Splitters.
It was nice to drive that ball straight up the middle. You know, Lincoln tries to run wide so often, and that was just a quick hitter by Pollock up the middle, and he picked up nice yardage on first down.
Buck swings it wide to the right. Wing formation offset to the right, man in motion. That's Metalco. Now Isles is going to fire it up the middle, and it's picked off by Lanphier, and he's wrestled to the ground. That was number 4 for Lanphier, DeCory Stamps, who made the interception.
Well, he's the same guy that knocked down that one pass the last series and could have been an interception. This time he just stepped in front, and again, I'm not sure Isles saw him coming across, and he made the pick.
He showed the good hands and hauled it in. Number 76, Seth Gleason, out of there for the Railers tonight. He's injured. He's a junior, 6'1", 275. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Jared Griffin, the quarterback, will operate out of the shotgun. They're in a wing formation, just like the Railers. And he's going to keep it himself. He's up to the 40, 45, got the first down, and dives across the midfield stripe before he is tackled. Try and pick up who made that tackle out there.
I think it was Pudnight.
Number 2, Zach Pudnight on the tackle for the Railers, but not before Lanphier.
No, I'm not sure. I don't know, Bob. Can't see this one way across field.
1st and 10 for the Lions at the Lincoln 47-yard line. Jared Griffin going to keep it again this time, and he's looking for another first down, and he's got it. Picks up another 10-plus yards. It's going to be at the just across the 38-yard line. No huddle for Lanphier. They come at you very quickly.
I think that tackle the play before was Sean Cannon on that one way on the other side.
Sean Cannon, he's a senior. Jared Griffin out of the shotgun. Throws it out in the flat, and he's got a first down along the sideline. I haven't picked up who that is yet, but he's going to take it in for the touchdown. Number 16, that's the big guy. Dietrich Mitchell, 6'1", 250, takes it in for the touchdown from 38 yards out, and that'll make the score Lanphier. Lions 19 and the Rail Splitters 0. On the long snap now for the Lions will be Brett Starkweather. He's the long snapper. On the hold, it'll be Jared Griffin, the quarterback, and the guy that'll kick the extra point will be Alec Gansey. Gansey wears a number 25. Kicks it with the left foot, line shot into the band through the uprights, and that'll make the score. Lanphier 20, Lincoln 0 with 2:55 left in the first quarter. We'll be back. If you're looking for a job, AG Farms now hiring licensed CDL drivers and grain farmhands. Phone 217-737-2560 for more information. Headline Salon LLC. Visit Brett, Liz, Jenna, and Danielle at 123 South Sangamon Street. That's the old Eckert's Meat Market in historic downtown Lincoln where Abe used to roam. Phone 217-651-8310 with walk-ins welcome. And if you're hungry after the game, order a pizza from Stuffteria Pizza on the Logan Street. Oh, wait a minute. I think that's the 5th Street curve in Lincoln. Open 7 days a week for carryout. Drive through, and you also can get fast, friendly delivery. Phone 732-3100. Corrington Jones kicks it away. It's going to come down to Metalco at the 14 to the 15. Metalco looks for the blocking to the 20, 25, 30, and boy, Bulldogs, he's way down to the 35. Brent Metalco, and maybe they might spot it even at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, he kind of takes the pile with him. There's 3 or 4 white shirts there making a tackle. He just kind of carries him on his back for a couple extra yards.
Well, that was right the first time, the 35-yard line. Metalco Isles has got the play. And he looks over the Lanphier defense, takes his time. Now he comes up under center, Ethan Kunkel. He's got a man in motion. That was Pudnight. Now he hands it off to the right wing, and I think that's Metalco. But he's swarmed under by 3 Lanphier Lions. That was Metalco. He didn't have anywhere to go, Coach.
Well, I don't know what you think when you come out there to run and you see 3 white shirts there before you even get, just after you get the ball. There's no place to go, and that's about all you can do. He's lucky he only lost 1.
And all 3 of them are big Cowboys out there for Lanphier. 2nd and a dozen now for the Rail Splitters. Clock on the move, 2:15 left first quarter. Lanphier leads it early, 20-0. Isles out of the shotgun. Good snap, fires along the sideline. Cook now the hook and ladder to Pudnight. Pudnight's got a first down before he's knocked out of bounds. Isles threw the hook and ladder to Will Cook, and then Zach Pudnight running along the sideline got the lateral and took it down up to the 45-yard line, and they call it a first down. 1st and 10 Lincoln on the old hook and ladder.
I think we saw that a few times last year, Bob, and couldn't decide whether to call that a pass or a run, or a little of both.
Somebody told us how to do the stats on it, but we forgot it. It's been 365 days, and of course we're seniors, and we'll have to ask again. Isles up under center, Pudnight in motion. He's got the handoff. He's got some running room, and he's going to get another first down, and he's still on his feet. Pudnight finally ran out of bounds after he got the first down. It looked like he got down to at least the Lanphier 35-yard line, and I think that's where they're going to spot it.
Well,
maybe just short of the 35, about the 36-yard line.
Yeah, he did a great job making a nice decision there. He was trying to go wide, but he saw the defender out there and saw an alley inside, so he cut it up a little prematurely, but that's where the running space was, and he got to the outside, as you said, Bob, and ran up the sideline for another first down for the Railers in Lion territory.
Coach, Zach Pudnight's a junior, 5'9", 130-pounder, but I bet he weighs more than that.
Well, that's possible. 19-yard pickup on the play. That was a nice run.
1st and 10, Metalco in motion. Handed off, second guy through. And
there's another case of the pile. Just keep moving, and they're pushing the pile, and Lincoln got about 5 yards on the play.
Griffin Pollock on the run, got his helmet knocked off, and immediately, if you get your helmet knocked off, you got to come off and get it checked out before you go back in. Chris Dong checks in for Griffin Pollock.
He picked up 3 on the play, so that was a 3-yard gain for Pollock on the run.
2nd down, 7 yards to go for the Railers. Clock on the move. First quarter, 1:17 remains in the first quarter. Football at the 33-yard line of Lanphier. Cook out here to the wide side, and Metalko in the slot for the Rail Splitters here on the left side. Out of the shotgun, Isles. He hands it off, and no running room for the running back. He's still on his feet, though. Tries to bring it back along the sideline. That was Chris Dong. Valiant effort, but there just wasn't any running room. That Lanphier came through all the holes in the dam, and they just kept him from making a gain.
Yeah, not a lot of blocking out in front there because the defense is getting across the line of scrimmage, and when the runners try to run wide, all they're seeing is defenders there. No place to go, and he's back on the 40, lost 7 on the play.
3rd and 15 for the Rail Splitters. We're in the red first quarter, 49.4 seconds left. Lanphier leads at 20-0. You're listening to 96.3 FM, and you're also listening on WLCNonline.com. Keegan Buck split wide to the right side. Isles out of the shotgun. He's got Will Cook on the near side here, but he throws attempted pass to Zach Pudnight coming out of the backfield, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, again had Cook going down and across the middle and tried to throw short again and just couldn't connect. Good coverage by the defense.
Up on that front line for the Rail Splitters, Ethan Kunkel, Ben Steiner, Brady Anderson, Ian Neitzel, and Eric Sutton. Keegan Buck and Will Cook, the wide receivers. Metalko's got quite a few running plays today, along with Griffin Pollock and Chris Dong. Sutton's a senior. Where's the number 50, 86'3", 200 pound. Metalko now going to come over here in the slot on the near side with Will Cook along the sideline. Isles out of the shotgun. Looks for his targets. He's got a man, but he's wrapped up immediately. 34 on the tackle. That was Chris Dong on the completion.
Lincoln tried to run a little screen revert to the backside there, and the defense wasn't fooled by it. They had 2 defenders there ready to stop it as soon as he caught the ball.
Tackle was made by Jack Anthony Childress. He's a junior, 5'3", 150-pounder. 1st and 10 for the Lions at their own 44-yard line. Jared Griffin, 5'8", 148-pound quarterback. He's got in the backfield with him, that's Reggie Dickerson.
He keeps it.
He keeps it. Griffin, he's going to take it all the way. 56-yard run for the quarterback. You said he ran before the game, and he certainly does, Coach. Jared Griffin takes it all the way in for the touchdown. 56 yards to make the score. Say, Springfield Lanphier 26 and Lincoln 0.
Yeah, as soon as he gets past the line of scrimmage, then it's just a foot race with the linebackers in secondary, and he's got a lot of speed too. But if you don't get him early, get him at the line of scrimmage, he's got a good chance of going.
He's off to the races at Balmoral or Santa Monica, wherever he's at. He's gone. Okay, it's going to be Gansey going to try and kick the extra point. It'll be the quarterback who had the run on the hold, and here's the boot. Line shot into the Lincoln band on another extra point. Lanphier 27, Lincoln 0. We'll be back after this. Special thanks to Benjamin Yount for his weekly interviews with LCHS head regular football coach Andy McDonald and the players this season, which aired each Friday morning on 96.3 FM. A special thanks to Timbercrest Veterinary Service PC in Atlanta and Lincoln for sponsoring these interviews. Be sure to check out everything, including archived LCHS football games on WLCNonline.com and become a fan on Facebook. Corrington Jones, the young sophomore, going to kick it away for the Lanphier Lions. And he knocks it down to Metalko at the 15. Metalko up to the 20. At the 25-yard line, spins, and he's not going to get any farther. Metalko got it out to about the 27-yard line before his forward motion was stopped. And now there's a flag on the play. I don't know if they're marking the forward progress or there was a little extracurricular activity.
Yeah, that's not a forward progress mark, so I will see what the call is. It's a personal foul on the Lions.
That's going to be a 15-yarder, and the official quickly marches it upfield, and that's the best field positions Lincoln had on a kickoff yet, up to the 42-yard line.
Well, thanks to the penalty, absolutely, but it's not the kind of game that you want to get any kind of extracurricular activity like that, so hopefully the officials keep it under control. We're still just about end of the first quarter.
Who's number 74 out there for the Lanphier?
They don't have him on the roster.
Man, that guy is big.
Yeah, they got some big players.
1st and 10 for the Railers at their own 42-yard line. 23 seconds left in the first quarter. Isles comes up under center. He's got Metalco in motion. Now Metalco's going to take the handoff and bring it up the middle, and he gets across the 45 down to about the 47-yard line. 5-yard pickup there for Brent Metalco.
He actually got some blocking up front a little bit at the initial point of attack, and that gave him a chance to cut to his right just a little bit. He picked up about 6 on the play, a nice run.
They give him a good spot, 6-yard run for Metalco, and that's the end of the first quarter with the score. Lanphier 27 and the Rail Splitters 0. We'll be back in a minute. Kathy Denny, Realtor at Worth & Associates Realty, phone 217-737-1729, located at 1203 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Here come the Railers to start the second quarter. Isles comes up under center on the near side hash mark. Metalco goes in motion. He gets the handoff. He cuts it upfield across the midfield stripe, and he spins down to the 45-yard line and a first down for Lincoln and Brent Metalco for the Rail Splitters. Down to the 45, just barely across the 45-yard line into Lanphier territory. Metalco with a nice run, good blocking on the left side of the center.
He picked up 7 on the play, Bob. First quarter stats, net yards for the Lions, 158 to the Lincoln Railers, 16. So domination was by the Lions there in that first period.
I finally picked up the kid on that big guy on the play. He's a senior, James Rucker, 6'2", 350-pounder for the Lions. Isles comes up under center. Metalco in motion again. This time they hand it to the tailback, and he fights his way down across the 40-yard line, keeps his forward motion going. Lincoln with a nice pickup there.
I think, was that
Griffin Pollock on the carry for the Railers. From the Lanphier 45-yard line down to their 39, a 6-yard pickup for Griffin Pollock.
And that looks like the Railers on this series anyway, Bob. They're just going to try to pound the ball and get off the ball up front and follow the blockers, try to pick up yards, and it's worked the first 2 plays here.
Isles comes up under center. Second down for the Railers. Hands it off. That's Pudnight. Pudnight up to the 45 along the sideline, knocked out of bounds, and a first down for Pudnight. And the Rail Splitter, Zach Pudnight. The tackle was made by number 3, Calvin Cesar.
I think he had Pollock out in front blocking for him, Bob, and he got a nice block outside, and then Pudnight made a nice move, kind of head fake inside, and got back outside and took it down to the 31.
1st and 10 for the Rail Splitters in their green uniforms here on senior night at Handlin Field. 11 guys playing in their last game tonight as a Rail Splitter. Isles will come up at her center on the 1st and 10 at the 31. Metalco in motion. And he's going to keep the ball, thrown up ahead and incomplete. The intended receiver was Griffin Pollock.
There was a lot of defenders out there, Bob, so it's probably good that he overthrew his target and went out of bounds. A lot of white shirts there. Looking down to the backside, he had Metalco out there in the flat. There was one defender, but I was looking to see him throw back there, but he tried to hit the... Not sure who his intended receiver was. Pollock out there on the right side.
And he had Keegan Buck out there about 5 yards behind him. But as you said, there was a lot of defenders out there. 2nd and 10 for the Rail Splitters. Man in motion's Pudnight. Pudnight's got it. Looks for running room along the sideline, and there's not much there. They stand him up at about the 31-yard line. On the tackle, it was Easy Nawagabarji.
Yeah, they ran into the short side of the field there. There wasn't much to get to the outside, and he turned it up, but I maybe got a yard or 2. Just 1.
3rd and 10 for the Rail. Well, yeah, would you say the 30?
It must be a flag on the play because they're discussing with Lanphier Lions. They had placed the ball.
Hold on the Rail Splitters. 10-yard penalty. And they march it back to the Lanphier 40-yard line. Back to the 40.
Well, I was talking to the coaches this morning about holding. You know, we haven't had a lot of holding penalties all year long, and you know, occasionally you don't mind seeing one like that because you want your offensive linemen or any of your blockers to be aggressive.
Keegan Buck split wide to the left out there. Isles will come up under center. 2nd and 20. Man, it's Metalco in motion. Isles kept it himself. He's up to the 45, and he dives up to the original line of scrimmage, back up to about the 31-yard line. Got a 9-yard pickup there.
Yeah, he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and he took a quick step to his right and found a little running room. Got hit again and kind of shook another tackle. Got down to the 32 before he was stopped. An 8-yard pickup.
8 yards for number 8. And now checking in for the Rail Splitters, that is number 39 for the Railers. Lost all my notes, completely panicking. Colton Grant. He's a junior, 6'3", 200-pounder. Metalco in motion. Isles got the snap. The left-hander got a little bit of time. Throws deep for the home run ball. And
it's intercepted.
The Lanphier Lion went up and caught it, and then he went down to the ground. So he's immediately grounded there inside the 10-yard line.
Well, he had a receiver out there, but the defender had great position, inside position. Ball went up, and he just went up higher than our receiver and caught it on the 5.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lanphier Lions. Jared Griffin, the quarterback, he ran it in for a 56-yard touchdown the last time. Let's see what he does deep in his own territory. Griffin's a senior, going to operate out of the shotgun. Raylor showed blitz there. Now Griffin's going to keep it again. Off a left tackle, gets hit once, stayed on his feet, and he ends up at about the 19-yard line and a 1st down for the Lions.
And, you know, he's just a scary runner, Bob. Anytime he carries the ball, you know, you're waiting to see if he's going to break loose.
He's a little guy, flat out fast, 5'8", 148-pounder, blessed with a lot of speed. 1st and 10 at the 18. Second quarter action here from Handlin Field. Griffin looking over at the sideline. He's got his play. Talking to his 2 receivers on the left side. He's got 1 receiver on the right out of a wing formation. Throws it across the middle, and it's tipped incomplete behind the intended receiver.
I think he was trying to hit Mitchell. He was the slot man trying to go across the middle, and I think that's who he was. Maybe it wasn't Mitchell, but he was trying to. That's who he was trying to hit, and just kind of threw it behind him.
End of the first quarter, Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones 2 touchdowns, Rochester 0. Griffin going to operate out of the shotgun. He's got Dickerson in the backfield with him. Now he's got a man in motion, pitches it to him. Along the right side, that's 16, he's got a 1st down.
I'm not sure, but yeah, he got around to the right side, took the pitch, as you said, Bob, and just waited for some blocking and got a 1st down.
Dietrich Mitchell. 1st down at the 30 for Lanphier. Second quarter here at Handlin Field on senior night. 8:37 left for the half. Lanphier leads at 27-0. Griffin looks to the sideline to his head coach, Jason Nixon. Nixon in his 4th year at the head of Lanphier. Jared Griffin hands it off. The big guy out of the backfield. 33, that's Dickerson. Reggie Dickerson's 5'6", 215-pounder, junior.
They put it on the 35. He got a 5-yard gain on that. We're looking at the linemen from this angle. It's kind of hard. They've got some awfully wide splits between their center and guard and tackle.
2nd and a nickel for the Lions out of the shotgun. They want to throw, now they'll run. That's their quarterback at the 35 to the 40, looks for running room 45, and he's finally tripped up by Chris Dong for the Rail Splitters.
And he caught him from behind, chasing him from his position on the other side, and just didn't give up and hung on to him and got him on the 46.
1st and 10, Lanphier. Jared Griffin, their senior quarterbacks, are running machine. Here to the near side, that is Matt Blakely. Griffin out of the shotgun. He's got Reggie Dickerson out there on his left side. Calm, cool, collected. Now he's ready to go. barks off the count, and he's going to keep it himself again up the middle, and he's across the midfield stripe down to the Lincoln 49-yard line. Now a penalty flag goes in the air.
He got across the midfield to the Lincoln 49, Bob, and I think when you can hold Griffin to a short gain like that, you got to be happy defensively, but then the flag came in at the end of the play.
Coach Vlakovic, a defensive coordinator for the Railers, out there talking to the Railers. He's also a Lincoln detective. Penalty against the Lions, and that's going to cost him a march all the way back to the Lanphier 36-yard line.
That was a big one. That came, so it wasn't a hold. It must have been a personal foul.
Jared Griffin, the quarterback for Lanphier. 7 minutes left in the half. Lanphier leads at 27-0. You're listening to 96.3 FM, WLCNonline.com out of Atlanta, Lincoln, Illinois. Griffin's got the snap, hands it off. That's Reggie Dickerson. They missed the tackle. No, that's not Dickerson. That's another guy. They tried to trip him up. He's still on his feet. Metalco is the last guy, and he finally takes him down. Brent Metalco, that was Calvin Caesar.
He took it all the way down to the Railer 22. A lot of chances to stop him for a shorter gain, but several missed tackles by the Railers.
Calvin's 5'10", 171-pounder, 1st and 10 for the Lions at the Lincoln 22-yard line. 6:30 left for the half. The Lions lead at 27-0. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, stop by Mama's Arcade Cafe. Great homemade breakfast and lunch meals. Served at 513 Pulaski Street. In historic downtown Lincoln, of course. Here's Griffin with the football. He's going to keep it. He's at the 20 to 15, down across the 10 before he's finally tackled. Jared Griffin, the quarterback for the Lanphier Lions.
Another first down to the Lincoln 10, as you said, Bob, but he's just a danger, and Lincoln had a couple shots at him again, and he's just a hard kid to take to the ground.
Somewhat similar to the MacArthur quarterback, Spates, blessed with a lot of speed. Number 10, Griffin, Jared Griffin. 1st and 10 from the Lions at the 10. Throw it out in the flat, and Dietrich tripped up, stays on his feet. They try to wrestle him down, and he finally gets down inside the 5-yard line. Dietrich Mitchell.
Well, he caught that. It's just a quick pass out there. He's in the flat, and Don came up and looked like he had him, lost his balance, but he was able to stay on his feet and picked up a yardage down to about the 4.
His legs are like monuments, Ken. You grab a hold of him, it's just like wrought iron steel.
He's a big player out there.
2nd and 4 for the Lion. The Lion's not sleeping tonight. Griffin waits for the snap. He's got it. Hands it off to Reggie Dickerson, and he's down, stopped just short of the goal line. I forget who sang that song.
How's that go, Bob?
The Lion sleeps tonight?
Never mind. Don't sing for us.
I won't.
That's just straight ahead dive play there, and the Railers were able to stop him short of the goal.
Griffin out of the shotgun. Wants to throw this time, and incomplete. And a flag. It could be pass interference.
Yeah, I didn't have a good view of it. It looked like it was almost looked like the Lanphier guy going over the Railers trying to make the catch. But it's
one way or the other, somebody interfered on that pass.
It would be nice if it was on the Lions. That would be
that'd be good.
Big yardage, but I don't think it doesn't look like it is. It's about half the distance, so from the 1 it goes to the half-yard line.
They stop the clock at the 4:46 marker of the half. Jared Griffin out of the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself, and he dives up ahead, and he's in for the touchdown. 33-0 in favor of Lanphier as Griffin takes it in for the touchdown with 4:43 left on the first half clock.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to deny him on that with first down there on the 1-yard line.
Okay, here we go on the long snap. It'll be Brett Starkweather. On the hold, it'll be Griffin. And the man that will attempt the extra point will be Alec Gansey. Kicks with the left foot. Here's a snap, placement. Alec Gansey kicks it through the uprights, and that'll make the score. Lanphier Lions 34, Rail Splitters 0. Just got a report from our good friends from Springfield that Southeast leads MacArthur 14-7 halfway through the second quarter. Don't forget to stop by the Rising Stars Lincoln and Impact Studios Tumbling and Cheerleading, available for children aged 2 through 10 in Lincoln and Mason City with flexible class times, days, and sessions. Taught by former and current gymnasts, tumblers, and LCHS Railer cheerleaders. Phone 217 877-671-4018 today. Corrington Jones, the sophomore, getting ready to kick it away, soccer style, for the Lanphier Lions. Kicks it away from his own 40-yard line. He wears the number 24 in his white jersey with the orange numerals. Brent Metalko back deep for the Railers. Here's the boot. Line shot. Metalko's got it at the 17 to the 20. Metalko at the 25. Looks for running room, and not much there as he's knocked down at the 28-yard line. First guy there for the Lions, number 34. That was Jack Anthony Childress on the tackle for the Lions.
And the Lions are just flying to the ball. They're being overly aggressive, Bob, just having a good time out there flying to the ball wherever it is. And they were able to upend Metalko there on the 28.
The Lions lead at 34-0. 4:37 left in the first half. Isles going to operate out of the shotgun. Oh, they snap it over his head again. He gets it on one hop. He's a baseball player. Throws it up ahead, and it's caught. No, it's incomplete. Incomplete.
He did a great job keeping his composure after that snap. Second one of the night went over his head, and he was able to pick it up and roll to his left and found a receiver. It looked like it was completion, and then the defender was right there as the ball arrived and knocked it loose.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Abraham Lincoln. 4:30 on the first half clock. As Coach told you, ball at the 28-yard line. Isles comes up under center, Kunkel. He's got Metalko in motion. Hands off Metalko, and he's wrestled down back behind the 20-yard line. Big loss there as the Lanphier Lions just came on the run. Good sportsmanship. They picked Metalko up. On the tackle for the Lions, it was number 3, Calvin Caesar.
They just pour through the line, Bob, aggressively across the line and get Lincoln's backfield before they can hardly get the ball handed off.
Second and Roberto Clemente for Lincoln, make it 3rd down. 3:59. Ball at the 17. Isles comes up under center. Got a man in motion. Rolls out. He wants to throw across the middle. Incomplete. Flag on the play.
A couple of different ones, I think. One by the lineman and then one in the backs.
Lincoln had a couple of receivers out there. Zach Pudnight was one of them.
Penalty on the Railers is declined. Brings up 4th down.
4th down for the Rail Splitters as the penalties declined.
I didn't see the signal, so I'm not sure what it was for, but must have been the same penalty, but 2 different officials calling it. And it was declined, so it's going to set up a 4th and long for the Railers here with 3:36 left in the half.
Isles back in punting formation. 3:30 left for the half. Lanphier leads at 34-0. Isles has got the snap. He punts it away. End over end. And it's going to roll up and knock down the 40-yard line marker. That'll be easy for the officials to mark.
Well, it was nice that, he was kicking to the wide side of the field, which gave him some room that time, Bob, and he got it away from the return man and got a good roll. So it went out on about the 42, actually. Maybe 43 where they're going to mark it.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions. Yeah, you're right at the 43-yard line.
Still a short field for the Lions, only 57 yards away from the end zone.
Ian Neitzel checks in for the Rail Splitters defensively. Neitzel, the defensive end. He's a senior. Oh, Pollock kept it. Now there's penalty markers all over the place.
Well, somebody got him in the backfield, but they got him around the kind of a horse collar, maybe even a face mask. But
yeah, I'm thinking face mask. You're right, Coach.
Yeah.
And he marched off a 15-yarder against the Rail Splitters. Railers quickly got in there, but they grabbed him by the head, and you can't do that. Yeah. 1st down for Lanphier at the Lincoln 45-yard line.
Well, they had him down at the line of scrimmage. I guess that's what you have to do to get him. But it's unfortunate. You don't usually try to do it that way. It's just you're grabbing, and that's what you accidentally get a hold of.
There were 3 Railers there. Nobody could just hit him low. Griffin out of the shotgun. He's got Reggie Dickerson with him in the backfield. He's got a man in motion now. And he hands it off.
And off to number 3,
Calvin
Caesar on the run.
He just gets through the line. They get some good blocking at the line of scrimmage, and he picks up about 8 on the play. Maybe, yeah, about 8.
Second and a deuce for the Lanphier Lions. Clock on the move. They lead at 34-0 here in the first half. Jared Griffin. He's lightning quick. He's got a man in motion. Pitches in the backfield. On the right side, tripped up, close to a first down. That was Devontae Hall.
He might have slipped as he went around the corner there, Bob, but he went down just short of the first down, I think.
Ball's at the 35-yard line. You're right, just short, Coach. .225, they stopped the clock in the first half. Griffin out of the shotgun's got the snap, going to keep it himself. He's got the first down and more. Couple yards for Griffin.
That time Griffin Pollock blitzed up the middle, Bob, and just missed him. Reached out and maybe touched him, but couldn't quite make the tackle. But the defense did a nice job of still filling in and stopping him for a short gain, although he did pick up the first down.
Down to the Lincoln 32-yard line. Clock on the move, 2:10 remains, first half. Jared Griffin. He's got Calvin Caesar in the backfield with him. He's got the snap. Caesar blocked. Throws it up the middle, and it's complete. And Lanphier are going to go in for the touchdown. We'll try and pick up who that was. That was Dietrich Mitchell. Mitchell in for the touchdown. That'll make it Lanphier 40 and the Rail Splitters 0 with 1:53 left in the half. And now Lanphier will attempt the extra point. It'll be Starkweather on the long snap. On the hold, it'll be Jared Griffin. And Gansey will attempt to kick it through the uprights. Alec Gansey. Lions making short work of this in tonight in the first half. Starkweather. Laying Lincoln offsides. Railers trying to block the extra point offsides.
I think on that touchdown pass, Bob, I think Lincoln, somebody in the secondary there had a chance, and they just kind of whiffed on him, and he just ran right by him for the touchdown.
All right, Starkweather's going to snap it again. Griffin on the placement. Gansey on a wide shotgun blast off to the right. So the score will remain Lanphier 40, Rail Splitters 0. We'll be back. If you've got car problems, stop by Sharon's Auto Repair, located at 921 South Kickapoo Street in Lincoln. More than just auto repair. Family owned and operated. Phone 735-2222. If you want a place to stay for the night, stop by the Best Western Plus Lincoln Inn Luxury. Amenities at reasonable prices for a complimentary tour. Stop by 1750 Fifth Street in Lincoln, and for reservations, phone 732-9641. Covington Jones going to kick it away for the Lanphier Lions. It's in the air, line shot. Metalco is going to run it down back at the 8-yard line. He's up to the 10, looks for running room to the 15, and he's ran out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
Metalco the ball carrier across the 15 to about the 16-yard line.
They didn't catch the ball in the air, and it kind of hit the ground, took a kind of squib bounce on him. So by the time he picked it up, the Lions were down there to cover it, and he got a short gain to the sideline before they ran him out.
First and 10 for the Rail Splitters. Isles has got the play from quarterback coach Jacob Harneke, and he goes into the huddle. Center up there for the Rail Splitters is Ethan Kunkel. The guards are Ben Steiner and Brady Anderson. The tackles are Ian Neitzel and Eric Sutton. The wide receivers Will Cook and Keegan Buck. Metalco in motion. They hand it off. Is that number 2? That's Pudnight. Pudnight with the football. Zach Pudnight.
He's up over the 20. Looked like about the 24, about a 7-yard pickup for Pudnight on the run. got around the corner.
Shane Conkright and Brett Starkweather in on the tackle for the Lions. 2nd and 6 at the 22. Pardon me, 2nd and 4 for the Rail Splitters. Minute 15 left first half. Isles looks along the line of scrimmage. Now he goes up under center. He's got Metalco in motion. And Metalco, that's complete to Lincoln along the sideline. They've got a first down. They're deep into Lanphier territory. Hang on to that football. And they finally blow it dead at the 28-yard line. That was Will Cook. Metalco threw it. I didn't know he was left-handed. Threw it to Will Cook for the big gain down to the Lanphier 27-yard line. And a buzz in the crowd. Isles, shotgun, pump fake. Goes along the sideline. Incomplete.
We had a man wide open there, but he just took a long time to deliver it. And by the time he threw it, of course, he overthrew it, but gave the defender a chance to recuperate there. But I can't see who that was. It was on the far side, but he was open early.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Rail Splitters. Lanphier 28, 40.5 seconds left for the half. Lanphier leads at 40-0. You're listening to 96.3 FM, WLCNonline.com.
That was a 50-yard pass, I believe, from Metalco to Cook on that play.
Metalco to Cook. Here come the Rail Splitters out of the huddle. They're going to send 2 receivers to the right side. Isles going to operate out of the shotgun. He's got 2 running backs on the right side. Now he's going to roll to his right, and he's going to keep the football, and he's going to run it out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. So about a 6-yard pickup there for Garrett Isles.
Sets up a 3rd down with 34.5 seconds left here in the half, Bob. A chance for the Raiders to get on the board for halftime.
Gets a spot at the 21-yard line. You're right, Coach. He stopped that clock running it out of bounds. Harnicky gives him the play. Joe Ryan up there with his 2 cents.
2 cents.
That's all he chipped in. Isles going to operate out of the shotgun. He got the snap, rolls left. He's a left-hander, and incomplete. Just out of the outstretched arms of the Lincoln receiver. About the 12-yard line.
And again, is that, can't see, is that not Pudnight? But anyway, he was open again, Bob. They had receivers open out there, just haven't been able to connect with them tonight.
29.8 left for the half.
Yep, that was Pudnight.
Pudnight, the intended receiver, just threw it wide of him. Ball's at the 21, 4th and 3 for the Rail Splitters. Isles out of the gun. He's got the snap. This time he fires, and complete for the first down. Down around the 14-yard line goes Lincoln.
And is that Cook, I think.
Will Cook. Will Cook got the pass.
Down about
tackle.
13, about an 8-yard pickup on that one.
Tackle made by Devontae Hall. A timeout on the play, and we'll take a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Well, if you've got any water problems, call Dean Leith Plumbing and Heating and Soft Water Incorporated in Lincoln, serving Lincoln, Logan County, and Central Illinois for over 60 years for all your commercial and residential steam, heat, and hot water boiler inspection and service needs. Plus, new kitchen and bath installations. Phone 732-8598 with 24-hour emergency service available. That's 732-8598. If you've got a plumbing emergency, call Dean Leith Plumbing and Heating. Isles out of the shotgun, fires along the sidelines. Shoestring, did he catch it?
Yes.
Yes, he did. A shoestring catch along the sideline.
Will Cook.
Will Cook at about the 2-yard line. Cook's a senior playing his last game here at Handlin Field. Made a nice catch. Isles was able to zip that pass in there. Timeout Rail Splitters with 14.4 seconds on the first half clock. We'll take a timeout, be back in 30 seconds. If you have any type of creatures, whether they be giraffes, dogs, cats, rhinoceros, check out Timbercrest Veterinary Service, PC in Atlanta and Lincoln. Please do announce the addition of Dr. Greg Anderson and Dr. Sarah Flutie and CBT Erica Hackerson to their professional staff with expanded hours for all your creatures at both locations. They look forward to meeting you and your animals. All right, here come the Rail Splitters out of that timeout. Ball's on the 2. It'll be first and goal. Isles out of the shotguns. Got the snap. Lobs into the end zone. Long. Incomplete. Wynn must have caught it.
Yeah, he tried to throw the fade pattern there to Cook, and he just overthrew it. Cook had good coverage down in the corner. I think the Railers, excuse me, Bob, I think they still have one timeout. I think they just took 2, and unless they took one early that we missed, I think they still have one to go.
Yeah. They take a long time in the huddle. Here we go. Isles in the end zone. Oh, incomplete.
That was intended to Buck Keegan.
Buck Keegan, the intended receiver. 21-21 at half, Jacksonville, Glenwood.
Third and 2 for the Railers now with 6.7 seconds to go, Bob. Still time for a couple plays.
They've got that one timeout. This time Isles comes up at her center. He may take it himself. Man in motion. That's Metalco around the side. He's in for the touchdown. Brent Metalco from 2 yards out, and the Railers are on the board, 40-6. Score with 3.1 seconds left in the half. There goes Mike Thornton's reservations.
Brent Metalco did a nice job getting around. He's gotten stopped on that play many times tonight, but that time he was able to cut it up, found just a little space, not much, but just enough to squeeze through and pick up the 2 yards and the touchdown.
Railers will go for the 2-point conversion here. Out of a power I formation. Isles up under center. Rolls out to his left. He's got a man wide open. Incomplete. Threw it long. So the score will remain Lanphier 40 and Lincoln 6. 3.1 seconds left on the clock. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Lanphier will take over. Well, Lincoln will have to kick it off.
Been invaded here in the press box.
Yeah. Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I assume the Railers will just kick it short and hope they can run these 3 seconds off the clock so Lanphier doesn't run any plays.
Let's check who's kicking it off for Lincoln. .44. That's Scott Lesson. Kicks an onside kick, and Lincoln's got the onside kick.
Should have. 4/10 of a second. Yeah, the Lion was up there ready to get it, and it just kind of popped away from his hands, and Lincoln came in an opportunity.
I think that was Ethan Kunkel.
Got right on it at midfield.
Ethan Kunkel recovered it.
Time for one play.
4/10 of a second.
They've already used their hook and ladder and their halfback pass. I don't know if they got any other trick plays throw in there right now. This would be time to do it. Week 9. Nothing to hide now. Use it all.
Miles has got the play. He trots out onto the field. Kunkel comes out over the football. Miles will come up under center. He's got to get some good blocking. Metalco goes in motion. Miles going to throw the long ball, and it's picked off by Lanphier at the 20. Up to the 30. Along the right side, the Lanphier Lions. Still got some running room. Tries to cut it back upfield against the grain. Still on his feet. Broke a tackle. Still looking for running room. And now he's going to go in and knocked away and a fumble into the end zone. That was Devontae Hall. He was going to the house, and one of the railers come up from behind and knocked it out of his hands, and they fumbled into the end zone.
And there's a couple flags back here at midfield, too. A little altercation, a couple player from each team. I'll have to sort this out.
Devontae Hall picked it off back at the 20-yard line and brought it all the way upfield. He was inside the 5-yard line, and one of the rail splitters knocked it away, and the ball rolled into the end zone. Then, as Coach told you, a couple penalties called on the play. We'll have to see what they come out of this discussion with. No time left on the clock. Lanphier leads at 40-6. Senior night at Handlin Field, Lincoln Community High School out on Prim Road. Now the officials look up to the press box, the sideline. Penalty against Lincoln. Penalty against Lanphier. They're declined. And that should be the half.
Yeah, I think so. I think when the ball came loose, went in the end zone, it became a touchback. So there's no points there, and just ends the half.
With the score, Lanphier 40, Lincoln 6. We'll be back after these messages.